I became a Rex teacher because I thought it would be a good way to add something to my resume, and it was very relevant to my major as a computer science major. My favorite part about Rex has to be the different students that you teach and the many different ways that you would have to be able to teach them and get them to learn the information. I would say the thoroughness of the curriculum and the projects that they have created for the students themselves. They're really creative and very original from what I've seen and from what I've done myself. I would say right now I'm teaching 6 hours a week, I think. I spend about 20 to 30 minutes before class prepping for my classes that I teach. The biggest success I've seen from students has to be my high school students so far. I remember at the very beginning when we were just getting started, it was a little bit of a struggle just kind of getting down the foundations of Python. But now looking at him, he's pretty much coding like full-length projects without as much as any kind of question that he has to ask me or any hesitation to what he is doing. My personalization comes from the initial meeting of the student. So depending on what I see from their body language, how I can tell that they are absorbing the information. Students that are younger, I tend to go slower and put lots of examples into what I'm teaching them and giving them the time to learn the program itself first. Like with Kodu, it's very much letting them play around with all the different tools that are available before really getting into working on the first project. With more of the older students, I tend to go through the lesson first, and then if they have any questions during or after the lesson, we answer those, and I let them practice a couple practice problems before we start moving on. I build relationships by just trying to talk to them as more of my peers and giving them the respect that I know that they all have given me. And by doing that, I've built great relationships with all of my students. I think the main benefit would be flexibility, as in I am able to choose my work schedule, especially with college. I'm also a full-time student. It's really great that I'm able to choose times where I'm less busy to teach a class, and that I'm working remote. I'm able to teach my students from anywhere that I can. I think computer science is the future. A lot of companies are turning over to technology. You think of the medical field and you think of all the paperwork that they have to do and everything that's handwritten, but now everybody's moving towards technology. You think of the big technology companies, Google, Amazon, they're very tech-based, but you also have to think of outside of that. A lot of other companies, a lot of medical companies, banking companies, and places where you don't think that you would need any kind of technology to really run the company is really going virtual a lot more. So they require a lot more software engineers to help keep everything running very smoothly. So being a learning computer science and learning all these coding languages will give all these students a lot of opportunities in the future. I feel like I bring insight as to how to teach younger children. Not that some of the older teachers aren't bad at teaching, but I feel like I'm still young and I'm still retaining a lot of the like coding that I'm getting now, and I'm still currently being a student. It helps really keep an edge to what I teach, so I'm able to better explain why the code works the way that it does, to be able to give the students a further understanding of what they're writing down instead of just type it out. Most of my students that I have taught, being virtual or in person, have given great responses. They've really enjoyed most of the curriculum. of what they're learning, and then just the experience overall with me being their teacher. I believe that the Rex platform, their curriculum is very thorough, and the students that they bring in are great students that are really willing to learn, and they want to learn. And I think that really helps me teach them to give to a listening audience, I would say.